be a silversmith one day, like my mother and father.
We've stopped. What is it? Take whatever you need. I can manage. To the next fight.
Come on in. The Silverblood Inn has plenty of strong
My
drink
favorite
and
drinking
clean rooms.
Let's get some.
Forsworn rampaging through the streets, as if business wasn't slow enough. Yes, I've heard such things. The Jarl has things under control. Don't you worry. Ah, yes. Here, take a look at this. Remember, ale is cheaper than blood in Markarth.
I trust you're not planning any trouble. What can I do for you, friend?
Warrens ain't for you. Trust me. The Warrens isn't a place for your type. What do you want? Until next time.
And another poor sod bites the dust. We can't even blame this one on ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ. Now, some people might fault the Silverbloods for these lovely accommodations. If you ever meet someone like that, it's best to keep your distance. Because that person not only lacks common sense, but is probably a skooma addict. For you see, a good businessman, and the Silverbloods, well, they are good businessmen. They don't let valuable property die. And that's all our friend here was. Property. But now, he's finally free. In reality, yes. But in the eyes of the law, no. Although his wages bordered on slavery, that fine line is what separates the villains from the virtuous. An acquirer of property. Slaves. I promise them fortune and glory, and give them a life of bondage. But that was before. A sad face on a beautiful woman can often make you think twice about what you do. So now, I no longer acquire slaves. I plan to free one. But right now, I'm just thirsty. Let's discuss this over at the inn, shall we?
You don't want to be here. No one wants to.
You know, they say ale is cheaper than blood in Markarth. But I've found if you give a man enough ale, he'll give you his blood for free.
Watch the skies, traveler.
They say that this city once belonged to the dwarves. Hard to believe, isn't it? Can you imagine? Dwarves running up and down the paths with their little dwarf children in their pointy dwarven hats.
Is that fur coming out of your ears?
The thing I love about Skyrim is that every major city has its own personality. What I hate is that they never seem to change.
Klepper, my good man. How's married life?
Disappointing?
Unlike my husband
I'm
Clever,
sorry to hear
I
it.
watch after our guests.
But I've been in your shoes, and it's still better than walking on bare feet.
How about drink? None of that local piss. Real Blackbriar mead, fresh from Riften.
You read my mind, Clapper. A bottle of Blackbriar Reserve for me and my good friend here. Oh, alright, that's better. Now that we're settled, I take it you're gonna have some questions. Yep, and I had no problems doing it. I convinced myself I was giving them a better life. The slave masters I know make sure their property is well rested. You get a bed and 3 square meals a day. Of course, there's that pesky matter of losing your personal freedom that makes any benefits seem lousy in retrospect. All sorts of people, from all walks of life. There are those who want the labor, and others who want to make a political statement. Then there are those whose interests are more, well, you know, carnal. It really depends on what kind of property you're looking to purchase. The market changes, but generally, slaves fall into 3 categories. The hard labor, to work in the mines and the fields. The house labor, as in washing dishes, cleaning linens, sweeping the floor. And of course, the one thing that is always in demand is whores. Men, women, beasts. A noble is not a noble without a harem to call their own. That's why I haven't technically defected. As in, I'm still working on how I plan to betray them. I was kind of hoping you'd help me. Illegal, immoral, and downright mean. But that doesn't stop people from doing it, just like anything else that's profitable. But these folks are remnants of the old House Dres. People who consider slavery to be as natural as breathing. For them, it's more than just the money. It's tradition. I agree. Although bandits, vampires, and warlocks might object. At least slavers try to keep their property in working condition. Oh, alright, that's better. Now that we're settled, I take... Yeah, she was a girl from a small town in Whiterun by the name of Riverwood. They promised her a fortune in gold and gave her chains of iron. Did I say Riverwood? I get these small Nord villages confused. It was another one. Riverwood's been on my mind because, well, you know, dragons. It was at Shattered Plank Cave, that's it. The other hunters and I were rounding up property and comparing the size of our spoils. But I only had eyes for that one. After that, I spent a lot of time in the slave mines, stealing her away for a disciplinary action. Now I hope to steal her away for good. Oh, alright, that's better. Now that we're settled, well, I was going to start by doing my old job, recruiting a miner. Not as a slave, but as bait. You see, I haven't been delivering any slaves as of late, and my employers have told me not to return until I do so. So I need someone to serve as my prisoner and get me inside. Then it's just a matter of finding her and finding a way out. Oh, excellent. With you posing as a slave, I don't have to put one of these poor saps in danger. Well, that's the tricky part. Right now, my dear Avella's probably headed to the docks in Shattered Plank Cave. That's where the slavers sort out their property and figure out who to send that to the auction house that week. So we could head them off there, or wait until she's sent off to Rothvine Manor, up north. Well, basically we can try either location. But it depends on what kind of cover story we're going to use. That will determine our next move. Interesting. Typically the slavers won't sell to an unknown. Well, not unless you pay the initiation fee. And that's no small sum. 1,000 gold. All right, then it's settled. Find some fine clothes and meet me at ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ Manor, near the Thelmore Embassy, when you're ready.
Come on in. The Silverblood Inn has plenty of strong drink and clean rooms. What was that you said, venomous wife of mine?
Nothing, you pig-headed oaf.
I heard you were at the wedding of the Emperor's cousin, in Solitude. Gods, that must have been horrible.
Welcome to ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ Manor, friend, where people come for the slaves, but stay for the charm. Hold on. Didn't I tell you to find some better clothes? Oh, they're never going to let us inside with you looking like that. Maybe for a foray into a dungeon, but not if you want to convince people you're a serious buyer. Solitude isn't far from here. Head on over to Radiant Raiment, and hurry.
When I was a young rascal, I broke a man's arm with a single punch.
Let's see if we can't find an outfit
I
that
had a
suits
horseshoe
you.
hidden in my glove.
Finally. Oh, let me just take a look. Thank the gods for the end of yet another pointless conversation. I say
Much better. You'll fit right in now, provided you brought the gold. You did bring the gold, didn't you? Excellent. Now don't worry, it's only temporary. You'll get all your gold back and more when this is done. Guard, my friend here is the noble I was referring to earlier. I have the entry fee right here.
thank you, sir. Go right on in.
Well, that should take care of getting us inside. Now you can mingle, or even bid on a slave. In fact, it would probably be best if you did, seeing as that's what you're here for. Now remember, no rough stuff. I don't want my dear Vela to get caught in the melee. The goal is to sneak her out. As for a plan, well, I confess I don't quite have one yet. But I'll figure something out. Just maybe during recess. So, guard, I didn't catch your name. Or your birth sign. The apprentice, am I right?
We are not supposed to talk to the guests.
Don't be such a bore. Talk to me.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm on duty. That day at Snow Point Beacon, I almost called it quits. I thought my adventuring days were over. Now I can't see a day when I stop.
This orc was born and raised in a stronghold. He's worked the mines all his life. What about you, sir? Do you have 1,000 gold to bid on this titan?
Oh, indeed I do, indeed I do.
1,000 from the gentleman in the fine furs. Do I hear two? Keep in mind, this isn't just any orc. He is disciplined, loyal, and there is not a trace of skooma in his blood. 1,000 going once, going twice, sold to the gunman in the front. Our next item is a lovely maid from Elinhir. Discerning buyers will notice the pristine condition of her scales. That is because she is accustomed to serving her master indoors, lest her beauty wither in the hot, unforgiving sun. Shall we start the bidding at 500 gold? 500 from the gentleman up front. Do I hear 1,000?
I could take her.
1,000. 1,000 gold from the charming young lady. Do I hear 1,500?
For that price? Sure.
1,500 septims and worth every coin. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is a fully trained Argonian maid. She will sweep your floors, dust your cabinets, and if the situation calls for it, she will knead your loaf. 1750! Will that be the final bid for this lovely young lizard from Elin here? Going once, going twice?
25.
What was that, Sirrah? Did I hear 25?
That's right, auctioneer. 2,500 septims.
A bid from the Imperial, 2,500 gold for this beautiful young Argonian. Do I hear 3? Going once? Going twice? Going 3 times? Remarkable, 3,000 gold! A record bid! And still, an absolute bargain for this item. 3,000 gold. Do I hear 4? Going once? Going twice? Going 3 times? Sold! To the newcomer in the front. That concludes the early session. We will now take a brief recess before returning with the conclusion of today's auction.
Oh, are you my new master? I have no idea what it is you imply, master. I am but a poor Argonian maid. If you take me to your home, I can start by polishing your bucklers. Oh, but I'm sure they are huge. It could take me all night. Then I will do as the master wills. Ah, a city in Hammerfell, my master, just near the border to Cyrodiil. Oh, yes, master. Polishing them requires great care and a very moist cloth. It may take some practice before I become accustomed to the master's blade. I understand, my master.
Hmm? Need something?
Need something? Need something? Come, I haven't got all day.
What do you want?
Yes?
Yes.
Not for any moral or political reason. I'm good with numbers, and I'm even better with scales. As the average septim weighs about 1/4 of an ounce, I can estimate the number of coins in your purse without even emptying the contents. I'm Facius, the accountant. If you've made a winning bid, this is where you pay. All sales are, of course, final. Make a false bid, and unpleasant things happen. Buyers should know better than to ask such questions. In this line of work, it's best not to know how the soup is made. Some may say you paid a steep price for this one, Sirrah, but you cannot put a price on happiness. Enjoy your new property.
Need something?
In Hammerfell, there were some who kept snakes as pets and would milk them for venom. But I am but a lowly maid, master. I cannot do such things. Here? Now? I'm so embarrassed. I will need to practice before I can milk your pet with confidence. No, Master. We came by caravan. I don't know the first thing about sailing. But I am so frail. How will I ever find the strength to lift something so big? I am a humble chambermaid. I have no experience of the outdoors. I cannot do as you ask. But my arms are so weak, and the Master's rod is so heavy. How will I ever gather the strength to stand it? Oh, I've been this way since I was a hatchling, but I never liked to carry a sword. I am much happier shining my Master's. When I think about polishing it, it makes me want to come in my best apron. Oh, what am I saying? Oh, I'm so embarrassed. My diet has been mostly chowder, Master. Oh, the chowder in Hammerfell has lots of pepper. I will need to taste the Master's chowder often before I'm used to it. My diet has been mostly Oh, but I have heard that the Master's cucumbers are very thick. How will I ever fit them in my mouth? It may take all night before I finish. My diet has been mostly chowder. My Master, what do you mean by... Oh, you embarrass me. I was only talking about chowder. My Master fed me every day, and sometimes the masters of the neighboring houses would do the same. I was taught never to waste the Master's chowder. If that's what you feed me, I will lick every drop. I can show you now if we have the time. My diet has been mostly... Oh, the chowder always came with a hard, stale loaf. It was dark brown and nearly burnt to a crisp. I found that if I left it in my mouth, it would soften up enough that I could swallow. Sometimes I would spend hours just trying to inhale my Master's loaf, but I will try my best to finish early if the Master has not the time. Of course, Master. I am yours to command. But how will I get there? I am but a poor Argonian maid who can't even ride a horse. But I will never be able to mount something so thick. I feel as if I need to practice. It could take me all night.
Some may say you paid a steep price for this one, ᵯᴑᴆ, but you cannot put a price on happiness. Enjoy your new property.
Make it quick. relationship with my sister was, for lack of a better word, awkward.
Just act natural. Well, as natural as one can look whilst wearing 20 pounds of elven glass on their back.
Need something?
What are you two doing away from your posts? You're right. These long hours are killing me. But I'd rather not give the others reason to doubt my ability. How about you go in there and keep an eye on the slaves? That way, I can rest my eyes with a clear conscience.
So the recess is over already. Such a pity. I was just getting used to this cage.
Is your name Sergius?
Who wants to know?
Your debtors, Imperial. It's time to pay up.
But how? How in oblivion did you find me?
It wasn't easy. A slave has no identity. But a thief, he leaves his signature wherever he goes. And you were careless when you stole from your last master.
Wait, before you do anything stupid, listen to me. I can pay you double whatever your employer is paying.
That sounds like a reasonable offer. On the other hand, I don't believe you. Oh well, don't look so surprised. I had to make up that sob story. It was the best way to enlist your help. Although perhaps I misjudged you. Maybe it's better if I tell you it straight. I was hired to kill this man. He was a thief, one who stole a significant sum of gold from my client. I don't imagine anyone does, but think of it this way. You pissed off some very bad men today. All in all, I'd say your moral compass is still pointed north. Well, I suggest we keep our armor on and just walk out. But if you want to free the slaves, we'll have to kill the slavers. In fact, I'd be willing to offer you my services, now and in the future, at half my normal rate. Of course, you could sneak into a room upstairs and change back to your fine clothes, if, say, you wanted to pay for one of the slaves you bid on. But for now, here. It's your gold back, plus a little something extra. Your half of the payment for helping me kill this thief.
Yes.
what do you know? We made it. And if I were you, I wouldn't stick around this auction house much longer. It's only a matter of time before someone comes for the bodies. For you, maybe. Me, I've gotten what I came for. As for what comes next, well, it all depends on who's paying me. Otherwise, I say we head over to Clapper's and get another drink. This time, you can buy. There once was a woman, as fair as an evening, as springtime in old ᵯᴑᴆᴆᴇᴆ. I don't divulge the names of my clients. I can tell you their habits, their likes and dislikes, and whether they snore in their sleep, but never their names.
We've stopped. What is it? Okay, but be careful. If you need my blade, I'll be at my sister's.
I'm right behind you.
If you need me, I'm with you.
Oh, sure. Take it all.